Joining us now to talk more about some of these issues is Mark Nouveau, former FEMA presidential appointee and former Fremont Fire Department Battalion Chief. Mark, good to have you on tonight. We're back at it once again here. We still had, all of these large fires that were being handled all across the state of California. Then you have the glass fire, and when you have something like this that just explodes in size, it's really threatening a lot of populated areas up there in Sonoma and Napa counties. Does a fire like this take priority in terms of the resources that are put toward it?
Absolutely. Hi, Alex. How are you? Yep, Cal Fire, along with the other municipal departments across the state, are fighting 28 major fires. And certainly the glass fire is a priority for them. And you heard, earlier you were talking about evacuating the entire town of Calistoga. We're also hearing that they're fighting this fire on multiple fronts. And really the tool that they're using is evacuation. So that tells us there's great concern. Although the weather's cooperating a little bit, the temperatures and the low humidity is what's creating a problem for them. And there is great concern for this fire, no question.
Yeah, absolutely. There still are a lot of communities that are threatened tonight. You talked about some of those evacuations, and obviously we saw what this fire did in those overnight hours when the winds were still really pushing this fire along. It made a run toward the east side of Santa Rosa, and it was sort of eerily similar, I think, for a lot of people to the 2017 Tubbs fire that just decimated portions of that city. Do you get the sense, though, Mark, that the evacuation process went a little bit more smoothly this time around? And do you think there's more of an awareness here as people go through this over and over again that you have to leave early, and sometimes you have to leave before the evacuation order even comes?
Kind of a yes and no on that one, Alex, in that what we've heard so far is that much like the Paradise fire that, killed so many people, that fire in Paradise traveled within the first 12 hours. Most of the damage was done, 12 to 24 hours. We saw a similar situation here with the glass fire last night, where it's moving so quickly. But they did do a tremendous amount of evacuations. The law enforcement officers were out in some of those remote areas. And what we're hearing is there was success with that. But we're also hearing in a particular area, Los Alamos Road, that there were some people that stayed and had to be rescued. Firefighters, police officers had to go back into that area. So you're kind of twofold. The majority successful, small examples of people not heeding that advice and almost losing their lives.
Let's talk about the tremendous effort during those overnight hours when the winds were really just kicking, the effort to try to save as many homes as possible. And it sounds as though fire crews were pretty successful in that, especially when you look at the east side of Santa Rosa. The fire was just raging and making a run toward those communities there. And but of course, a lot of homes were saved. I heard one official in Sonoma County say the crews saved more homes than were lost. Talk about that strategy for those fire crews on the ground to do what they call structure protection and just try to save every house, as many houses as they can, one at a time.
Well, to your point, that's why, Cal Fire and fire departments across the state of California encourage people to do as much as they can in terms of defensible space, clearing the area, taking certain precautions to try and put your home in a position to be, quote, salvageable. If that's the case, then as firefighters go through these neighborhoods and they see homes that they can actually try and save, then they're going to put a priority on those homes. The homes that are, have foliage right up next to them, they haven't taken precautions, they know that the likelihood of saving that home is much more difficult. So they're actually doing triage as they drive through these neighborhoods, making a pre-plan. Which ones are we going to try and save and which ones do we not put our efforts because we don't think we can be successful? Last night we heard there was great success, but what we're also hearing is that they're working so hard. We've had to double shift some of those firefighters because there just aren't enough across the state.
All right, we'll leave the conversation right there. Always appreciate your time and your insight here. A former FEMA presidential appointee and former Fremont Fire Department Battalion Chief Mark Nouveau. Thanks for coming on. Talk to you soon.
Take care, Alex. Thank you.